Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of Whiskey Sports. I'm here with Rhett.
What is up?
Mr. Rhett, we had a pretty good weekend on our bets. How'd you feel?
I felt good. I think college did us a little bit better than the pro. I think you did pretty well in pro. You got me in the pros on a few games, but college was good to us too. But yeah, pro was it was all right for me. It was pretty good for you, but college was there. Just looking over, I looked over the video last time. First of all, sorry about I actually watched the video and noticed how much I move over here in here. I literally can't.
I haven't even paid attention
I
to
watched
that.
the video. And I was like, what in the world was I doing? So I'm going to try and keep it more centered. It's hard for me to not move though, but let's see. The first game we had was Pitt, North Carolina. We both took them -6.5.
Yep, won that barely.
Yeah, you said I did say it was going to be close, and I was scared to take it. But at the end, it worked out, right? They went to overtime.
Exactly what we needed.
North Carolina did that 2 weeks in a row, though.
They did.
The opponent jumps out. Go ahead.
In overtime, man, it just started pouring. So Pittsburgh goes down and scores right when North Carolina is about to say hut. I mean, absolute downpour. You can barely even see it on TV.
Hey, we love that.
Love
because
it.
It want us to bet. So
couldn't even throw football down the field.
Over.
Yeah.
Brutal. That was brutal.
0.5.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then Michigan, the Wolves were your mortal lock. And I rode with you on that. You said it was a blowout. I did say it was close, and it was close. Got hairy there at the end when they went down 17-14, but hey, they pulled it out.
It was cold. It was cold, whatever.
We'll take it. Hardball, big. Can you say it's a big win? I don't really know how good Penn State is, but it was still a big win away.
That's a big win. I mean, for the Big Ten.
It's a whiteout too.
Big win. Away. He doesn't normally win away. We'll take it.
But the other thing is, though, I don't know about your year-end bet because Ohio State, they got it together. Finally.
They did. They absolutely blew out Purdue. It wasn't even a ball game at all.
We both took Purdue +21 because we didn't trust Ohio State. Who knew?
CJ's been too inconsistent.
We did say at one point they were going to get it together, though. They finally got it together. They put it, the whole, defense was, their defense is always going to be okay. They're never going to hold anybody to like 3 or 0 points, but still play pretty well. But their offense just looked phenomenal.
Really I didn't watch any of it. I'm assuming CJ just went off.
They all did. They just looked good. I mean, I watched like the first 3 touchdowns. I was like, yeah, this is bad. This is going to be really bad. But what can you do there? I mean, you just can't take Ohio State -21 there. You really can't. No. Now that we know they're back, the offense is clicking. Now you can start taking them, but you couldn't trust them before then. Yeah. Let's see. LSU, we both called +3. Ends up pushing. That's okay. We bought the half point. We'll take a push. Their defense is still looking solid, though. Jeez. They can play.
Coach O's got them motivated.
RIP.
Games, why not?
But, they looked good. I mean, their defense did. But, yeah, their quarterback, he just struggles. He really does. At times.
It's still Max Johnson.
Yeah. But we'll take a push.
Miles Brennan, dude. If Miles Brennan doesn't get hurt, I think that's a different LSU team.
Yeah. Could be, especially with the way their defense is playing. I mean, they looked great against Bama. They looked great again against Arkansas. So
they were a couple inches from beating Alabama. I mean, If you go back and watch it, it's right over wide receiver's hands for the first down and for the touchdown that was missed. So
yeah.
Never.
Another one was you picked Oklahoma -5.5. I had Baylor. I think I won on that one. Baylor looked pretty dominant in that. It's just weird. It was a tough game though to pick because of how both teams. 1 week they look great. 1 week they look really bad.
Spencer got in. Did the other kid not play well?
Yeah, Caleb Williams looked bad for most of the game. Spencer came in, and then Caleb Williams came back in after and then led a touchdown drive. So I don't know what's going on there in the QB situation. I just don't think either of them's consistent. They can both play pretty well sometimes, and they both look bad sometimes. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I would take them both at my school. So
the one we'll talk about for a second here, and I was right for the first half. I really thought some stuff popping up on my screen. I really thought it was going to be an easy dub for Auburn. I mean, Bo came out. He said exactly what I said. Oh, this is a Jordan Hare. This is going to be the time where he's going to bounce back. They're going to look good. They're going to cover. And then the second half, it all fell apart. They were up 28-3. What is this? The Falcons and the Pats? I don't understand. I don't know what happened. They looked so good and then just fell flat on their face. What in the world happened? Because I didn't really get to watch the second half that much.
So I'll just say this. Auburn was 65-0 when trailing by more than 25 points at halftime.
Winning, not trailing.
I'm sorry, winning by 25 points or more at halftime. 65-0. Program history. I'll tell you what it was. Will Rogers, man. He threw 3 incompletions in the second half. He threw what? 43.
Sorry, there's nothing to repeat.
I don't know what that was, but
he threw Siri popped up. He was 43 or 46 or something for dude. I think he had 7 or 10 incompletions, 415 yards and like 4 or 6 touchdowns.
Wow. No, that's impressive. I did look at the stats. It was impressive.
We just didn't put pressure on the quarterback, man. That's it. Derek Mason just doesn't want to make adjustments at all. He did not.
You can't just blame it all on the defense. You didn't score until the last 5 minutes of the game.
But when we put pressure on him 2 times in the whole entire game, we got 2 sacks. Every other time we were in zone. Every single time. I mean, I understand.
Mike Leach offense is going to pick apart the zone. They really
absolutely are. And that's why he only had 3 incompletions and absolutely tore us up. Came back. We had no answer. Bo Nix couldn't get it together. Sucks that he got hurt the way he did. This is the first time in 1,058 days that Auburn's going to have a new quarterback under center on Saturday against South Carolina. 1,058 days.
But I'm excited for the change. You know what fan base should be walking back everything they said? There's 2 coaches that are on 2 different sides of the plane right now. One is Mike Leach. They all hated him last year. And this year he's got some big wins. He has the Memphis loss, but he has some big wins. They look really, really good at times.
And that was a fluke.
And then they all wanted back Dan Mullen, who looks terrible. I mean, Florida looks awful. I can't even describe what it's like for them to give up a program. It was giving up 42 points in one half is a program record, and it was against Samford.
Program record?
They've never given up 42 points in a half before.
Dan Mullen's gonna get fired. It doesn't matter.
It's brutal.
In Mississippi State, you can do that. You can win your 8 games, be okay. Mississippi State's gonna make a statue out of you in front of the stadium. Florida, you got to go down there and win. It doesn't matter. You win.
Yeah. I don't know that they'll get to 8 wins.
No, dude, they're dancing in the locker room after beating Samford by 10. Get the hell out.
By what, 7? I think it was 70-56, but Jesus, you go 56 to Samford.
I don't care who you fired. I know the defense coordinator wasn't there, but 56 points, that shouldn't happen. Emory Jones didn't have a bad game, dude. He actually, his stats were pretty good.
Florida fans were mad because he broke some of Tim Tebow's single game records. And they were like, you're really, Dan Mullen, you're really going to be this close with Samford enough that he has to break Tim Tebow's records in order to win a football game against Samford.
How can you have a bad defense? Florida's a top-notch program. I'm assuming they have 5 stars on the defense.
For sure. I mean, Dan Mullen doesn't recruit the best. I think that's why they're getting antsy too. He's not bringing in the best recruits either, but It's crazy. I wish Tennessee could get them now instead of at the beginning of the year when they had confidence. I mean, that team lost by 2 against Alabama. 2 points.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, you still took Mississippi State. You took them plus 6.
5.5 or 6.5.
Good. You did say Auburn would win, but it doesn't matter, right? You win money. You say plus 6, you won money. Yeah, and I did not. Obviously, I took Auburn -6. Or minus 5.5. I was comfortable until the end. And then the last thing we'll go over in college was Tennessee. We both had them plus 20.5.
It was a good game first quarter or whatever.
Like I said, like we just discussed, it was going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And then the thinness of Tennessee's roster and the depth that's not there was going to come back to haunt them in the second half.
Yeah.
And it did. I think I said 38-20, ended up being 41-17. And Tennessee had 5 drives inside Georgia's 30 in that second half. They just couldn't put it in, and they had to keep going for it. You had to keep going for it at that point because our defense was exhausted. Yeah. But played good. I mean, it's just that Georgia defense is so good. I mean, they look really good, and I mean, besides a Georgia choke, I think they can win it this year. You know, maybe that, I know it's New Mexico State, but maybe Bama gets some confidence finally in their offense after that game, and maybe, you know, they can still do it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what that coach is talking about in New Mexico State.
Why did he do that?
Before game? Come on, brother. You can't do that.
Don't do that. You knew Nick Saban was going to run up the score at that point.
Come on now, brother.
I even texted you before. I was like, take Bama minus 50. I was like,
do it. I didn't do it.
Sure,
I don't know.
Yeah. Right. And then we get Ole Miss game too. We both picked Ole Miss. Liked Matt Corral.
Yeah.
And I have to walk back what I said, you know, last week. I'm always gonna like say when I was wrong, and I was wrong about Ole Miss atmosphere. They created an atmosphere. It was loud. Mm-hmm. It was a cool venue. They showed up, and you know their defense looked really good against A&M.
And the thing is, Auburn looked good against A&M. If we had a quarterback like Matt Corral, we'd have won that game too, and A&M wouldn't even be in the spot that they're in now. But you put a good quarterback and at least an okay defense together, you beat A&M every time.
Yeah. So we both got that right. They ended up winning outright, and I'm pretty sure they were dogs, but only like plus 115, 120.
Yeah.
The value really wasn't there. You might as well just take them plus 3. And then NFL, which was where you did pretty well. I did pretty bad. I missed the Ravens Thursday night. You had the Dolphins plus 8. We both missed the teaser, but you did say if you were going to bet, it would be Dolphins plus 9. Ravens looked awful.
They're awful.
What did I watch?
They can't even move the football. The offense is just nothing. Nothing. I mean, punt. I don't know.
I was mind blown. I was like, this is how you're going to show up.
I'm assuming too.
A Thursday night game, all NFL players complain about it. I'm never going to complain about having football, but it does seem like the Thursday night games are always terrible.
Yeah.
I don't ever really like watching them, but I'm never going to complain about having more football. But yeah, I'm heavy on that. I think I called Falcons plus 9. You said Cowboys were going to string it all together. They're going to do it, and they did. They did. They really came together. Dak was back. They were back from, you know, I think people got a little, and even me, I overreacted from that Broncos game.
They were relentless.
Yeah, they're a good football team. They can play. They're going to be competing for an NFC championship and a Super Bowl this year for sure. Titans, we got backdoor covered.
I had money line. I took a money line.
You didn't take a minus 3?
No, man. I did, but then I texted I get on there and I just deleted it. I was like, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. It's a tight.
I trusted it. I mean, it was there. It's just the OC let his foot off the gas at the end and just kept running. It's like they're going to come back if we don't like do something, and they did. I even texted you before. I was like, watch, they're going to score. They're not going to get the 2 point. Titans are going to win, which I'm always happy about, but they're not going to cover. But I'll always lose money if the Titans win.
I had the team total over 27.5, or no, I'm sorry, 23.5. I pushed that. No, I had over 23 and I pushed that.
That's good.
They normally score. They normally score 23 points.
Packers minus 3. We both had that. That was easy. I mean, come on now.
I'll take free money all day.
I mean, it was easy. Russ was rusty, like we thought he was going to be. Packers defense, man, they're good. I think the Buccaneers, they'll get it together. I know they will. But as of right now, I think it's going to be Cowboys, Packers, NFC Championship game.
Stamp it.
I know the Cardinals and I know the Rams are there, but for right now, I think it's going to be the Cowboys and the Packers.
Rams are they need to wake up. I
still think they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
They're going to be fine. Absolutely.
Okay.
They're going to be.
That was the game that we both lost. We thought it was a mortal.
Man, rush defenses. I thought it was more. I had a lot of money on the Rams. It is what it is. I lost, but I mean, Vegas always wins. You can't bet with the public. You got to bet against the public. So I bet with the public and I lost. Vegas won. Is what it is. Move on.
Yeah, you move on from that. I don't know what to say. They looked.
I'll take it again.
Awful. Oh, I'll take it
Rams again. Every time. No question.
And then the Chiefs both got that right. We knew it, just like Ohio State. We knew they'd get it together. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. When is Mahomes going to be Mahomes again? He did it, and of course, I was facing you in fantasy, who you had Mahomes. Of course, he would put up the 40-point game against me. But I enjoy watching Mahomes. I don't like the Chiefs, but I enjoy watching Mahomes when he's on television. So I was kind of happy to see him be back, making the passes he's supposed to make, not trying to go long every time. It's like people have figured out with the Chiefs, they're going to try to go deep. And he was just, he's dinking and dunking. And then finally they came up and he was able to hit him over the top.
Yep.
But he looked good. They're back. I think that they'll ride off that wave. But all right, that's really the recap. So we can start going into games now.
For game one, we got SMU and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's minus 11.5. It's in Cincy as well. How you feeling?
I'm not very confident in Cincy. They just haven't been playing very well. They did play okay, I guess, against South Florida? Yeah, South Florida, but
only
South
Florida stinks, right?
Yeah, I'm only won by 17. They stink. South Florida does. Cincinnati, we always say they're going to have to prove themselves and win by a margin, but I just don't think they're amazing. I think they're a solid team, but I don't think they're great. I'm not saying SMU's going to win outright in Cincinnati, but I do, like I said a couple weeks back, I do like Mordecai. I like them plus. I'll buy the half. No, I'm not going to buy that. I'll like them plus 11.5. SMU.
I think if Cincinnati had a year to do it, it was last year. I think this year offensively, they're not as good. Right. Defensively, the defense is just holding them together. If they didn't have that defense, they weren't nothing. And I'm glad they're not in the playoffs. I'm gonna go SMU plus 12. I'm gonna buy the half point just in case. I don't like the half. I don't.
Yeah.
Half will get you.
It will.
SMU
12 points is just a weird 35-23, I guess, could cover the 12, but
if Mordecai's on, Cincinnati's gonna have a tough time.
They are, but their defense is there. They can still cover, and I'm not saying they can't cover because if their defense shows up, they'll be able to score. I think they'll be able to score on SMU. SMU's defense isn't very strong, but last week Mordecai, I'm pretty sure they blew out. I think it was just who did they blow out? UCF maybe. I know it's UCF, and I know they lost a quarterback, but he looked good again because the last couple of weeks he's been struggling. Versus Memphis, he struggled, but he looked good again. So
yeah,
I got SMU.
Next game we got Ohio State and Michigan State. Ohio State is minus 19. I'm gonna take Ohio State minus 19. It's at Ohio State. What we saw last weekend, they can score unwillingly, and if they can continue it, I also don't think Michigan State's that great. They should not have beaten Michigan. They should not be in the situation they're in right now. Mel Tucker just got a $95 million extension or some just crazy shit. I don't know if he's that great of a coach. I don't know. I mean,
it's his first year. He did.
Yeah.
Whatever. He deserved maybe a few year extension, but you don't give that to somebody that's their first year. It could be a fluke. 10 years, $95 million.
Money. I mean, he may be the highest paid coach in college football. I don't know what Nick's being paid, but
I think Nick's 10 to 12-ish a year.
Okay,
that'd be 9.5.
You're putting this man on Nick Saban level,
you're definitely putting him up there with Dabo and them for sure.
Come on, man. No, give me Ohio State minus 19 all day.
Ohio State got it together last week. Offense looked fluent. Michigan State's defense isn't very good. I mean, you saw that Purdue put 34 points up on them. I think Ohio State, if they come out ready like they can, I think they can put up 45 plus, and I think they can cover the 19. I'm going Ohio State minus 19.
All right, we got Michigan and Maryland. Michigan is minus 15, and I believe it's at Maryland as well. How you feeling?
Maryland kind of sucks. Talia's been a bright spot, I guess, some of the year. But Michigan, with all that's at stake, they're still right there, sixth. fifth or sixth, right? Fifth, sixth, or seventh. Yeah, because they jumped Michigan State. They're sixth, right?
Yes, they should.
I got the I'm not on the train that they're going to beat Ohio State. I think they lose against Ohio State, but I think they come out, they do their job, and they win this game by 14 plus. So I'd buy the point for 14, just in case. I don't know, just in case of a backdoor cover or something like that. But I would still probably take them minus 15 as well.
It's a big game next week, and they're going to have to get it together. And I think this is their, hey, if we had to mess up a little bit, that's fine, but let's work on things this game and get ready for next weekend. I think that's what's going to happen. Next game, we have Minnesota and Indiana. Minnesota's -7 at Indy. I have absolutely no idea. Indiana, they're both bad. Minnesota lost to Bowling Green early. Indiana, I know, I believe is on their third quarterback still. I know the second string got hurt against Ohio State. If that is true, I'm going to take Minnesota -7. I believe they're starting to get it together a little bit. Who'd they play last weekend? Do you know? Minnesota?
I actually don't think they played Iowa, right? And they played pretty well. I don't think they won. Here, I'm pulling it up real quick.
If they played all right,
they played Iowa, lost by 5.
Okay, yeah. They're kind of getting it together. Indiana's probably struggling right now. Not really a home field advantage there. Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota -7.
I'm taking Minnesota -7. Indiana literally sucks. They're terrible. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can say about it. Now, this may come back to bite me. They'll probably cover. It is what it is. But I took, we didn't discuss the game last week, but I took Rutgers +7, and they ended up winning 38-3 versus Indiana. I mean, Indiana is really bad.
Yeah.
They could cover. I mean, that probably would happen to me after me saying they suck, but I think Minnesota covers -7.
Next game, we have Wake Forest and Clemson. Clemson is -4.5. It's in Clemson. What are you feeling?
Clemson's, they'll always be Clemson. So they're going to give them 5. They gave them 5 points here. Every time I've bet against Clemson, someone who's been a dog to cover, they've covered. I've got to go against Clemson again here. I think their offense just isn't strong enough. They still got a good defense. They still got a Clemson defense, but their offense, I don't think will be able to keep up with Sam and Wake Forest offense. I'm not saying, I think Wake Forest wins outright, but I definitely am taking them +5. I'm buying the half point and taking them +5. I like Wake Forest offense. That was a game that we went with last week. We bet them to beat NC State and cover that, and they did. So I got them again covering +5.
I'm going to take Wake Forest money line.
Money line. Love it.
Stamp it. I don't like
what is that? Do we know the odds on that money line yet? If it's pretty good value, if it's 130 plus.
Let me check it real quick.
It's plus 130 plus, then yeah.
Oh, it's more than 130. It's got to be.
Value's there. I'm fine with losing that bet. The value is there.
Absolutely. I don't trust Clemson at all. They are not good. They are having a bad year. I still believe that Dabo Swinney is a little overrated. I feel like me and you could have went out there and coached Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, but whatever. It is what it is.
Kids in, though. I don't know. Was Deshaun Watson his recruit? I don't know. Trevor Lawrence was, though.
I don't know if Deshaun Watson was a recruit, but I know before I think he was, because before he got Deshaun, he was on the hot seat about to get fired.
Who was before Deshaun? Taj Boyd? He had a pretty good team with Taj.
I just know he was on the hot seat before he got this hype with Deshaun Watson. And
I don't think he's that overrated, but I don't really necessarily like him that much.
I can't stand him. I think he's an absolute crybaby. He's a crybaby. When he's losing, he blames everything and everybody. It is what it is. But let me pull the money line up real quick. Money line is +170. I like the odds. Put a little change.
The value's there. I'll go with you there. I'll go Wake Forest money line. The value's just there.
Absolutely.
+170. I don't know how you could pass that up.
Yeah. Next game we have Nebraska and Wisconsin. Wisconsin's -9.5, and it is in Wisconsin. How you feeling?
In Madison. Nebraska, they're one of those teams that on paper, they suck because they're like, what, 3-6, 4-6, something like that. But they battled and battled and battled all year. But Wisconsin's gotten it together lately. They look like a solid football team. This is at home. I'm not saying it's a blowout cover, but I do think they cover. What I mean by that is I'm not saying it's at any point in time more than 21 points. But I do think they cover in like a 27-17 type game. But they can, I think they have the shot to blow them out. Wisconsin looks good. Looks good up to this point now.
I like Wisconsin -9. I'm by the half point. I like Wisconsin -9. I also like the under 42.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's going to be a 31-7 type of game.
Oh, you think it's a blowout?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez. Like I've said in another, I don't think he's very good. But
I'll tell you this: Wisconsin has got a very good defense. They're starting to get together, get a little hot. I like Wisconsin in the points right now. I do. Just the way they're playing now. If you asked me earlier in the year, I'm probably taking Nebraska in 10.
Right.
But right now, I'm taking Wisconsin 9.
Yeah, I said 27-17. I don't know if Nebraska can score 17 against them. I really don't. Maybe more like a 27-10 game. Yeah, I may end up taking the under with you.
Yeah.
I'm just scared that Wisconsin may score enough to hit that over,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess the offense
is Nebraska's defense is pretty good too. We'll have to give them that.
Wisconsin's last, they've scored 35, 52, and then 27 on Iowa, 30 on Purdue, and 20 on Army. So I guess the Purdue game is when they feel like they started getting it going,
right,
it out. All right, next game we have. I guess we'll do this one: Auburn and South Carolina. Auburn is somehow -7.5 for South Carolina. Auburn doesn't lose to teams like South Carolina. We don't lose to teams like Mississippi State either, but we did last weekend. South Carolina is they beat a really bad Florida team, but it's still the name Florida.
They lost last week though to Missouri. Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was doing well in college and I took them -1 because
yeah.
I thought they would. I thought they'd do it. And they were down 31-21, scored late, and then maybe had a shot at the end. I can't remember, but yeah, they lost.
Well, they still scored 28 points. I don't want to bet against my team because I don't think we'll lose this game. Do we win by 7? I don't know. TJ Finley has barely taken any snaps this year, so I'm assuming South Carolina's defense isn't that great. Hell, just give me Auburn -7. I mean, that's just off emotion. That's not off of football. That's just emotion. Auburn -7.
Yeah. I mean, this is hard because I've never seen TJ Finley play. I didn't watch him against Georgia State. I haven't seen it.
He played last year for LSU.
Do you know South Carolina's bad? I mean,
I will say TJ Finley started, or I believe had his career starting what is it called?
First start.
There we go. Golly. The first start against South Carolina picked him apart, had over 300 and something passing yards, 2 or 3 touchdown passes, absolutely destroyed him game 1.
This is in South Carolina.
Yes.
I'm gonna go South Carolina +7.5.
Oh, that hurts. Well, that hurts. It really does.
I don't know anything about TJ Finley. South Carolina's got an okay atmosphere. I've actually been there. I've been to a lot of the viewers on this. I've been to a lot of the stadiums in the SEC, so I can always give input on that. But South Carolina, pretty good atmosphere. I mean, I love the way
the night game
and everything. The night games are awesome.
6 p.m.
The night games are awesome. So I think it'll be an okay atmosphere. I mean, it probably won't be sold out because South Carolina has sucked, but I think they can cover. I don't think they win, but I think cover +7.5.
Last game for college football. No, I'm sorry, we got 2 more. We'll do 2 more. Alabama and Arkansas. You got Alabama -21. How you feeling?
I think I know which way you're leaning. And I would like to say Alabama got confidence from that New Mexico State game, but it is New Mexico State. Where's this at?
That's what it's at Alabama. It's in Bryant-Denny.
In Bryant-Denny. I'm not a believer in them yet. Nope. I got to see something. Arkansas just beat the team they looked really bad against. Arkansas looked really bad against LSU as well, but LSU is pretty solid.
And
I mean, 21 points is a lot. This is going to be the same thing that happened with me in Ohio State, Purdue, though. I'm taking Arkansas plus 21 because I think their defense can at least maybe hold them to 38 to 40 points. Don't mark my word on that. And I think they can score at least 20 points on Bama's defense. Probably not, but we'll see. I'm going Arkansas plus 21. But like I said, it'll probably happen the way they'll probably finally get it going versus an okay team, and they'll probably win by more than 21. But
it's a 2:30 game too. That's the game of the week, I guess, for the SEC.
I've been to Bryant-Denny. I mean, it's cool. It's
walking that trash.
They just expect it though. I mean, it's not like the most loud because they just expect to win, but it is loud.
They do expect to win. I mean, they're going to win, no question. I mean, obviously, we can't do money line, but I'm going to take Alabama minus 21. I will bet that. I really believe Alabama wins by 28 or more. I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. I don't think Arkansas is that great. I do, however, love the head coach, Sam Pittman. I think he's a great coach. I just don't think they're there yet. Will they with him? Potentially.
You don't have to be there. I mean, what I'm thinking is maybe they're losing like by 24, and then they just score a touchdown late or something.
Backdoor, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, backdoor it or something like that. But Nick Saban does like to run up the score, so who knows?
This is the game. We'll do this game because I think it's a toss-up because I think it can go either way. Baylor is at Kansas State, and Baylor is +1.
Baylor, another one of those teams, up and down, up and down, up and down. You never know where you're going to get. At Kansas State, Kansas State's, I'm pretty sure also has a pretty good atmosphere. They're a pretty good football team this year. They have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched enough to really know about Kansas State. They're never really on TV. You never really hear that much about them. That doesn't mean this is the reason why I'm going. I still think Baylor is a good football team, man. I just think they overlooked TCU. They might have even been game planning for Oklahoma because they look so good against Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
That happens, man. That happens more than people think. When they think they can beat down a team, there are coaches who start looking at film 2 weeks prior. That really does happen. I got Baylor. I got Baylor money. I just go money line. +1's basically money line.
Might as well, yeah. I'm going to ride with you. I don't really know anything about this game. I'm assuming Baylor will win. They beat Oklahoma last weekend. I don't know much about Baylor. I know they're pretty solid, and I agree with you about overlooking TCU with the Gary Patterson, a lot of off the field issues going on. So, yeah, I'm going to ride with you, Baylor +1 or money line, whatever you want to take. I'm sure the money line's probably +125. Nothing too much.
Nothing crazy, but +1. I mean,
it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, it basically is money line at that point.
Now we're going to go over to NFL. Hopefully I can stay a little hot on the NFL. Game 1, we have Patriots and Falcons, and Patriots are -6.5. I'm going to ride the Patriots until I die, man. I have won the Patriots, I believe, 3 or 4, maybe 5 times this year in a row. Patriots are hot right now. Mac Jones is looking pretty good. Defense is pretty solid. Falcons look like absolute shit last weekend against the Cowboys. I know it's the Cowboys, but Patriots are hot right now, and they got would you say he's the best coach to ever live? Belichick?
Top
3. He's rather close.
I'd say 1, top 3.
He's rather close. So I'm going to stick with Patriots -6.5. They win by more than a touchdown against the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons are one of those teams that, 1 week they look really, really bad. The next week, they can play pretty good. That's the only reason I took them +9. I was like, this is probably one of the weeks they'll look pretty good. Matt Ryan won't look 40 like sometimes he does. I know he is. That's the kind of the point. But, man, the Pats have been looking good lately. I think they're a really good football team. I'm not saying I think they can compete for an AFC championship with what they have, but they can definitely get a wild card spot and really make someone sad that they have to play them that first round. Yeah. Like I would not want to see Bill Belichick in that team. I'm going Patriots as well. I think they cover 6.5.
All right. Bills and Colts. Bills are -7.
Bills -7. Bills defense is really good.
How's their run D? Question. How's the run D for the Bills?
Their defense. Their defense is just good.
As a whole,
great defense. Josh Allen, obviously good quarterback. Their offense, they finally got it back together last weekend. Colts looked pretty bad against the Jags. I mean, they were up 14 at one point, and Jags had the ball, down 6, driving down the field, got to the 50, and got the ball stripped, and the Colts picked it up. So, it's a tough game, but I believe Carson throws a pick or two in this game, and I think it's on the Colts because I still think they're a really good football team, and I think they can cover this. But I'm going Bills. I think they ride off that high, and I think they cover. I think they win by 10 points. Bills.
I have to agree with you, man. I don't like the Colts at all.
You don't like Jonathan Taylor? Dude can play.
Don't get me wrong. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good running back. But when you have Carson Wentz as your quarterback, you're never going to get far. I am not a believer in Carson Wentz. I believe he's overhyped. I don't know why they still talk about the guy. He's just not good. He's not a good football player. I think he needs to be done. I think if the Colts have a different quarterback, it's a different story down there or up there in Indiana. But I'm gonna take Bills -7 as well with you. Next game we have Saints and Eagles. Saints are +1.5. Saints are playing pretty good. I mean, they had the Titans down the wire. They get that 2-point conversion. They have a lot of momentum. We were dead. We kind of took the foot off the pedal. I like the Saints +1.5. I do. I didn't have much to say after that.
Yeah. The Eagles have looked pretty solid lately. Jalen has done well. Jalen, I just don't think the team around him is very good, but he's looked pretty good. Devontae Smith's coming around. It's at Eagles, right?
Correct. It's in Philly.
Tough game though. I do think the Eagles can win it, but I think Jalen struggles against the Saints defense. I think Marshawn Lattimore may have him a pick, and they get to Jalen a lot. I think they have a few sacks in this game. I think they get it back together, even with it's hard for me to bet on Trevor Siemian. But I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so hard for me to bet on him. But I'll take them +1.5, especially I think AK's back. I think they get the run game. I think they get the run game going and they win it in a close one.
Yeah. All right. We have our Titans -10 versus the Texans. How you feeling?
Texans stink, man. They're really bad.
This is the game we drop.
Can we score enough to cover 10?
Ooh.
We can throw it. I mean, I just don't. Our offensive coordinator, he just doesn't. He gets really lazy at times. I feel like almost and conservative. I think we win. We can. It's the Titans. We can drop this game, but I would. I mean, Texans +10.
Wow, Texans +10. Let me see
just so I'm not mad if I lose. Like I said earlier, I'm not mad if I lose money on the Titans winning with the Titans winning.
So you're gonna go okay. Well, I'm going to stay away from the line. I'm going to go under 44.5.
Okay.
I don't think the Texans score that much. And I don't think the Titans score that much. I think it's going to be a 17-3 football game.
Yeah.
Around there. I like the under 44.5. I think that's the best play for that game.
Also, I don't think I'm going to touch the game. Like, I had to give a pick and I gave it, but I don't think I'm going to bet that. Now, I'll ride with you on the under. I like it. I like the way it sounds,
Sounds great. Now
sounds great.
Titans go out there and
Titans go out there and give up 28 points in the first quarter or something.
5 touchdowns, but whatever.
I think we get to the quarterback and our defense stays strong though. But I'll take the under with you. I like that bet.
Yeah. The next game is which I don't understand, but it's the Packers and Vikings. I don't think anybody's hurt right now. I don't think anybody's sick. Packers are -2.5, which makes no sense. Vikings are not that they're okay. I guess it's in Minnesota, so they're going to kind of give them a field goal favorite. I will never bet against AR. I can't do it. Aaron Rodgers is just Aaron freaking Rodgers, and I can't bet against him. He can score in 22 seconds and, without will. Like, I like the Packers -2.5. I think their defense is looking really, really strong right now. Aaron Rodgers is looking really good. I think they're going to continue riding that momentum. Packers -2.5.
Yeah, I mean, you're kidding. You're going to give me a line 2.5. Aaron Rodgers versus Kirk Cousins. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers every day. It's another bet I'm going to hammer, and I'll be comfortable if I lose that bet. That's fine. I mean, some bets you're just because that. Come on now, man. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers.
It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Over him. I'm not saying, like I said last stream, Kirk can pull stuff out of his hat. He really can. He's not a bad quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers -2.5 for sure.
It is actually -2 on ESPN.
I like it.
Maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but 2.5 is a little low for me.
Also, to break the stream for you real quick, Michigan State's up 17, so you don't want that bet.
Yeah.
George Mason is up 3 with 57 seconds left, so I took them +10. I'll win that bet.
Oh, good for you. Good job. George Mason against
Oakland. I took Oakland tonight -2 versus who did I take them versus? Where are we at? I don't even remember who I took them versus. I just saw Oakland.
I can't believe I didn't take that. I want to take that Michigan State game so bad. I just got caught up at work. -2.5 against Butler. Damn it.
Oh, I think it's over. Oh, crap. Did I win? Oh, they won by 21 over Toledo. So cash. Let's go. Starting off hot, 2-0.
Good. I remember the text I got this morning. I'm going to wait on college basketball. I'm going to wait to kind of feel the games out first. Bitch, you're 3-0 tonight. I don't want to hear your shit.
2-0. I didn't take Michigan State.
Oh, that's right. I was going to take them. That's right.
Sometimes I'm scared of Michigan State games. And it was against Butler. So I don't know. Huh?
Not bad.
Sometimes I'm
scared against Tom Izzo.
Sometimes I think in the Tim Izzo era, they have lacked the ability to score consistently.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can continue. I just thought I'd tell you that you would have won that bet by a long shot.
Thanks. Last game we got Cowboys and Chiefs. Cowboys, the boys are +2.5. It's in Kansas City. How you feel? It's gonna be a good game.
God, what's the over? You said what's the over?
Over is 56.5.
I want to watch this game, man.
I think it's 3:25 on Sunday. I guess it's
going to be a great.
I guess that's 4:25 for you.
I think Mahomes has gotten it together. I think he's doing his thing, but I think the Cowboys are a better football team. I really do. I'm just going to go with the over. I hope it's a high scoring game. I'm going to bet the over. So I'm in my living room rooting for points. I just want Dak and Mahomes to go crazy. So I'm not touching. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think my gut says Cowboys, but it's in KC. That's a lot of points, and I'm still going over 56.5.
Stamp it. Cowboys money line. I'm riding with the boys, man.
Yeah.
I took a money line when Dak was out. I think I've lost them one time, and that was when they got blown out by the Broncos. Took them last week, won. I mean, it's hard to not go with the Cowboys. They're loaded with weapons. Their defense is even pretty solid this year.
Yeah.
Travion Diggs is a freaking ball hawk.
That's why I can't.
I like Cowboys money line, man.
It's hard for me to go against Mahomes off the game he just had, but it's also hard for me because I think the Cowboys are just a better team, and then it's also hard because it's at Kansas City and they have a heck of an atmosphere.
I just think they're going to put too much pressure on Mahomes. That offensive line is struggling a little bit, and I think. All right, back to college basketball. I'm sorry, we'll talk about college basketball. We have a good 2 games this Saturday. Your Vols are playing Villanova. We don't have a line yet. We don't have a line yet. We can't talk about that.
No line, but book it right here, right now. If you want to win some money, Vols money line. They're going to upset Villanova.
You're saying Vols money line on Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no matter what it is, I'm taking it.
Damn.
All I gotta say.
Okay.
The value is gonna be there, man, and we're not the 17th best team in the nation. I do believe. I think we're higher than that. I don't know if we're as good as Villanova. I watched them play the other day. They were good. So is Tennessee. It'll be a good game.
Well, I'll do this. I'm going to go Villanova. I'm assuming that they're going to be favored a little bit. I'm probably not going to take the money line. Money line will probably be like 200 or so. But I'm going to take the spread in Villanova versus Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee is that great this year.
Yeah, you didn't even watch us play. We do have the best top 2 point guard in the nation, 100%.
Isn't he Tyson Chandler or Ty Chandler or something?
Kennedy Chandler. Dude
he balls.
Tuned in. Dude is unbelievable.
Balls. Yeah, he's good. Amani Bates is better, but that's for another day.
They're two totally different players. Kennedy Chandler is a 6 foot flat point guard. Amani Bates is like
he's point guard. He's just 6'9".
He's not a point guard. He's a ball. He can handle the ball. It doesn't mean he's a point guard. LeBron can handle the ball. Is he a point guard?
He plays all positions. Plays center.
Play all positions. That's LeBron
though. The last game we have tonight was Purdue and North Carolina. I'm assuming that they're going to hype up North Carolina, which I hope so, because I'm going to stamp Purdue money line and I'll bet the house on it. Purdue is a damn good.
It's 6 versus 18 though, so just like the Villanova game, said Villanova money line, huh?
Purdue 6.
Yeah, so the money line may not be there, like the value may not be there.
Yeah, whatever.
But if it's like minus 130, you can still get. I mean, you can still stamp that for sure.
Whatever, I don't care. Whatever the line is, Purdue minus whatever line versus North Carolina. North Carolina is not a good basketball team. Now, I don't know if they beat College of Charleston last night, but College Charleston was in that game and could have almost won outright. Purdue, stamp it.
I'll ride with you. I need to see the line just to.
Yeah.
Because if it's money, if it's like minus 150, then I'm not going to do that. But if it's only like -3 Purdue, I'll ride it with you. I watched some of that game the other night too. North Carolina, they don't look very good.
They're going to struggle without Roy right now. I mean, it's going to take a couple years to get the North Carolina program back to North Carolina.
But they're always going to – it may be one of those teams this year that you love like a Clemson this year, you love every time they have a line because that line is so inflated because it is North Carolina.
Yep. So
it may be one of those teams that you keep coming back to bet against, like I've been doing with Clemson, because the lines are so inflated because of the name.
Yep. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you all for listening. And that was a wrap for episode 3.
Let's get it.
See y'all.